geographic.
The car we are talking about lived through 9 generations in 40 years. The legendary Mazda Familia.
She couldn't sing but kept the beat and kept it strong. The all-new Mazda Protege. A change from all your high-maintenance relationships.
سفر همچون غزال به سرعت باد، به قدرت رود، به نرمی ابر. مازدا 929 و مازدا 808.
شما مثل من مازدا رو انتخاب میکنید.
با مازدا به زیبایی ها بپیوندید. مازدا 929 مازدا 808.
فروش با وام بانکی.
The car I found online was nearly 20 years old and owned by this gentleman for over a decade. He had driven the car for almost 300,000 kilometers. 323 has the classic design of the late 90s. Almond-shaped headlights and a small grille with the Mazda badge give a clean, tidy face. The bumper is simple, with round fog lamp housing on higher trims and a low, wide air intake for a planted look. From the side, it's a classic 3-box sedan, a straight shoulder line through the door handles, a tall greenhouse, and a near-level beltline with subtle flares over the arches. Thin side rub strips break up the doors, and sportier trims were 15-inch 5-spoke wheels. At the back, the tail lamps sit entirely on the quarter panels, nothing on the trunk lid. Inside the cluster, you get an amber turn light and a clear reverse light. The plate is centered on the trunk, above a clean flat bumper, and the short deck lid finishes in a gentle lip. The spots you can see on the hood are mostly paint clear coat failure, common in our city's heat and intense sunlight. The real fix is repainting. He avoided that, worried buyers would assume the repainting was done due to accident damage. I told him it's usually easy to tell the difference between a cosmetic respray and a repair after a crash. Inside, the 323 keeps things simple and honest. A symmetrical dash with oval side vents and 2 stacked in the middle frames a tiny digital clock, pure late 90s Mazda. The center stack is straightforward, quick access to audio and old-school rotary climate knobs. Ahead of you, a classic Mazda steering wheel and simple analog gauges remind you this car was built for driving, not for menus. On the move, what surprised me the most was the isolation. Very little outside noise and almost no squeaks or rattles. After all these years, the trim still feels tight, and the cabin is free of the extra vibration you would expect at this mileage. Now remember the context of its era. Compared with same period Civic and Corolla, Mazda's interior design was simpler and less adventurous. The 9th generation Mazda 323 entered a brutally competitive era dominated by Toyota Corolla and Honda Civic. While Mazda delivered the most enjoyable driving experience of the three, it couldn't match the Corolla or Civic in global success. The Corolla E110 had unmatched reliability, extremely low running costs, and a worldwide reputation strong enough to push it into taxi fleets, family garages, and developing markets everywhere. The Honda Civic of the same era offered a blend of efficiency, durability, and youthful appeal supported by VTEC performance and a huge aftermarket culture. Meanwhile, the 323, although well engineered and surprisingly refined for its class, suffered from Mazda's smaller global network, weaker resale value, and limited market penetration, ultimately making it a respected but far less influential competitor in the compact car landscape of the late 90s and early 2000s. And finally, under the hood, 323 has a 1.6-liter engine rated around 106 horsepower.